As many of you probably know if you're watching this video, one of the top mistakes that many, not all, but many retroactive jealousy sufferers make is asking their partner 8 million questions about their partner's past dating experiences, about their partner's past relationships, or about their partner's past sexual history. If you've been watching me for a while, you know that I think this is a huge mistake, and in today's video I'm going to share 3 tips on how to stop asking your partner questions about their past. My name is Zachary Stockill, and since 2013, I've been helping men and women from all over the world overcome retroactive jealousy and save their relationships. If you'd like more information about my work or you'd like to work with me one-on-one, please visit my website at retroactivejealousy.com. For the people here for the first time, the term retroactive jealousy refers to unwanted intrusive thoughts, often obsessive curiosity, and what I call mental movies about your partner's past relationships and or dating/sexual history. I am a former retroactive jealousy sufferer myself. I've been free of retroactive jealousy for a very long time now. But back when I was struggling with this bizarre issue, I did one of the worst things you can do when you struggle with retroactive jealousy, for a lot of reasons. I asked my then girlfriend a million questions about her past. I'm still ashamed admitting that today, and when I think about how I used to act, the things that I would ask, the way that I used to behave, not pretty, not something I'm proud of. Needless to say, it did not help the relationship. It made the relationship much worse. It caused my then partner a lot of pain, and it did not solve retroactive jealousy, I can promise you that. Over the years, I've received thousands of emails from retroactive jealousy sufferers from around the world. And when I say thousands, I mean thousands, literally. And not one has ever told me, you know what, Zach, I sat my partner down and I asked her 4 million questions about her past and that solved my issue, hooray. That has not happened even once in my entire decade plus of doing this work. So all of this is to say, if you want to ask your partner 8 million questions about their past to solve this problem, stop. It's not going to work. The solution is far deeper than that. But of course, if you're asking your partner 8 million questions about their past, or you're just asking them a lot of questions, shall we say, maybe not millions, but a lot of questions about their past, you might wonder, how do I stop? Because this can be a difficult habit to break. I mean, I remember it very well because sometimes you get an answer that makes you feel good, or gives your ego a little boost and you feel good and you think, oh, well, that solved the problem. Or maybe you ask them about something relatively important to you, like, did you do X or did you do this or whatever? They give you the answer you think you want, and then you feel better for an hour or a day or maybe even a week. But then, of course, more thoughts return. So it might feel good in the moment sometimes, but over the long term, it won't solve your problem. But anyway, how do you stop, right? Or at least how do you start stopping this vicious cycle? Number 1, you acknowledge what I call the deadly retroactive jealousy cycle, which is basically what I just described. You ask your partner a question about their past. Sometimes, not always, but sometimes you get an answer that makes you feel good. And you go on with your day and you go on with your relationship and everything's good. And then a little bit of curiosity creeps back in. And then maybe you have some follow-up questions based on what you think they said to you or what their answer was. And then you start questioning their answer. And then you think, well, yeah, but maybe she didn't mean that, or maybe he didn't mean this, and what about X, and what about Y? And then you're back in the same boat, you're asking them more questions, you're bringing up all this stuff again, you're creating distance between yourself and your partner, you're not giving off the most attractive vibe, to be honest, in a relationship. It's not a very attractive position to be constantly pestering your partner about their past, looking for some ego boost, looking for some reassurance. You catch my drift. It's not exactly a good behavior. It's the deadly retroactive jealousy spiral, because again, it's a spiral. Again, ask a question, feel good for a while, and then you start feeling less good, and then you start questioning, and then your mind goes into overdrive, and then you ask more questions. And it just never stops. So step 1 in stopping is realize what's going on. Realize that you're falling victim to the deadly retroactive jealousy cycle. This is not going to solve retroactive jealousy over the long term. And that's what I'm interested in with this channel and with all of my work. I'm not interested in giving your ego a little boost with short-term little fixes. I'm interested in helping people solve this problem over the long term, and obviously asking your partner questions all the time will not do that. It will not help you beat retroactive jealousy over the long term. My next step, or my next tip, is for you to privately, and I emphasize privately, write down, and I mean literally write down with a pen and paper, any reassurance or realizations or whatever that you've already received. In other words, if there's 2% of you that sometimes wonders, is she the Am I really the best my partner's ever had? Am I really the best match for her? And let's say your partner has told you on several occasions, you're incredible, I'm so happy, whatever. You can use your partner's word, or their words rather. Write that down. Write down any conversations, any answers they've given you that stroked your ego, any reassurances or clarity that you've received as a result of speaking with them that you've already had in the past, shall we say. Write that stuff down. Get clear on exactly, what helped in the moment. Write down all the reassurances that you've already received. And I guess I'm suggesting you can use this as kind of a, break glass in case of emergency tool over the next few weeks, over the next couple of months, shall we say. In other words, when you're in one of those moments where you're craving more reassurance and another dopamine hit and more of an ego boost, and you want to bring all this neediness to your partner and ask them more questions, just don't do that. It's not going to help things. It's going to give off not a very attractive vibe to your partner, as I mentioned a moment ago. And I like to suggest, take a few deep breaths, excuse yourself. You can go to the washroom, whatever, for 2 minutes. Pull out your list out of your back pocket. Take some deep breaths, read this, reflect on it, and remember that this is what's real, this is what's important. Not the nonsense in my head, not my neediness, not my ego screaming out for reassurance or attention. I already have just about all I need already. My partner's already told me, I'm sure, most of what I need to hear already. It's over, it's done. I don't need to keep feeding into this cycle. Breathe, reflect on that for a few moments, and then you can return to your day. This is a nice technique that people find helpful, particularly in the very early stages of their total recovery from retroactive jealousy. By the way, if you are finding videos like this helpful on my channel, do me a solid and click the like button, comment, share, subscribe to my channel. If you find my work useful, really the only way I'll be able to keep doing more of it is if people like you support it, even if it's just as simple as clicking that stupid like button. So if you appreciate these videos and you want me to do more of it, please do click the like button below, comment, tell me what you think. I'd appreciate hearing from you. The YouTube algorithm really does like that stuff. I always feel lame saying it, but it is what it is. If you want to have a YouTube channel with any traction, you need to encourage people to engage with your content. My final tip is, tip seems a bit glib. It's a big piece of advice, and in some ways it's a big challenge, but I think it really pays off over time. My final tip is to get clear on what is truly important. By truly important, I mean what is truly important in the grand scheme of your life, in the grand scheme of your relationship. So one of my favorite quotes is by an author named Zan Perrion. And the quote is, "The size of your problems is the size of your life." Okay, what does that mean? Well, personally, as a man in my mid-30s, if my biggest problem in life is my girlfriend's past, I think I need to take on bigger and better and more meaningful challenges. If that's my biggest problem as a man, then I think I need to take on a little bit more. So what could that mean? That could mean getting clear about, how I want to provide for my family. That could mean doing more and better work like this that has an impact in the world. That could mean being a better father or sister or mother or brother or whatever. Being better to the people in your life that really matter. The point is, get clear about what is truly important in your life. What is your mission? Why are you on this earth? Are you on this earth to ask your partner a million questions about their past? Or are you on this earth for bigger and better and more important reasons than that? That might seem a bit dramatic. That might seem a bit ethereal, perhaps. I don't care. Because over the years, I've found again and again that helping people gain clarity on their mission, on the broader purpose for their life, can really help them overcome retroactive jealousy, especially over the long term. When your primary concern is becoming the best man or woman you can be and having crystal clear clarity on what that means for you, problems like retroactive jealousy just have less of your mental bandwidth to work with because you're more consumed by bigger and better problems. And I have to mention, this is one of the most fun parts of my work as a coach. As you probably know, I've been coaching for over 10 years, and at this point in my career, I really love helping people gain greater clarity on their mission. Why are they here as a man or a woman? I love getting into these really deep conversations with people and helping them, ask themselves the right questions and reflect and all that stuff. So if that sounds appealing to you, I would love to work with you. You can click a link in the description of this video to learn more about working with me one-on-one and one-on-one coaching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. If you appreciated this video, please do me a solid. Again, click that silly like button below. You can also leave a comment and tell me what you think, good, bad, or ugly. I would like to hear from you. Please be sure you are subscribed to my channel as well to be notified of new videos moving forward. Thanks again, and I will talk to you again very soon.